And Chev. I'm getting so many likes from porn bots in football posts on Twitter. It's stupid.
I
Hey,
block those like immediately. It's weird.
yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why it became a thing. Well, I mean, I know why it became a thing, but you know,
Like I posted it. I replied to a Jeff Mann's tweet, and like the only like was Max Erotica. Like, come on, come on. What's up, everybody? It's Player Profiler today, Friday, with Biggs and Chev. We're here to run down Week 16. Last night was a pretty good game. Chargers and Broncos. Chargers came out ahead. There was a free kick. That was cool. See, there's a rule in the NFL that if you catch a fair catch, you can take a kick unopposed from that spot and try and kick a field goal. And not a lot of people know about the rules. Jim Harbaugh took advantage of it, and boom, Dicker the kicker nailed
I
one,
mean,
65 yards.
that is what a get. What a get for the Chargers. What a get. I
Yeah,
mean,
total turnaround. And we're going to go into Week 18, the Raiders being the Raider and get smoked by the Chargers, keeping the Broncos out of the playoffs. So that'll be
must-win situation.
right. And that'll warm my heart. All right.
Are you Sam Darnold 2025 officially?
What's that?
Are you Sam Darnold to the Raiders 2025 officially?
Yeah, I feel like the addition of Sam Darnold plus impact players in the draft could absolutely lead to like a franchise turnaround.
I'm hard pressed to disagree with you. I've been giving it a lot of thought because I believe that Derek Carr will end up being the Titans portion because we're going to miss out on. Well, I don't even know if Rand is sold on Cam Ward or Shador Sanders or Daddy Dion will let one of his guys come to Nashville, which would
Right.
make me despise him forever. So I'm just hoping that that's not even an option for us.
Well, I'm pretty much of the idea that the Giants are taking Cam Ward regardless.
You think?
Yeah, the only scenario I see that doesn't happen is if the Raiders somehow let's actually, according to Tankathon, let's update the NFL draft order at the moment. And at the moment, the Las Vegas Raiders have the number one pick at 2-12. The New York Giants at 2-12 are just behind them, and then there's 3-11 teams. Good Lord, what happened to parity? The NFL no longer has parity. Now it's a parody. New England, Jacksonville, Carolina, Tennessee, Cleveland, all trash at 3-11.
All trash.
Over the next 3 weeks, there will be a lot of movement in the race for the top picks. But currently, it's the Raiders and the Giants. I think the Raiders have a chance to get punchy and beat Jacksonville this week, but we'll get into that later. And then next week, Derek Carr, I think, is in full go mode in his rehab, trying to get back to host the Raiders next week.
Does he have? Oh, it is the Raiders next week.
It's a revenge game.
Yeah, I was plotting on that in best ball. It didn't work out for me, but I feel like that's going to be a really good game.
And if New Orleans, who is sitting at 5-9, and they have an opportunity to lose a few games and jump up, they can jump up past the Jets and Chicago, who they're one game behind in the race right now, or ahead, if you will. If Derek Carr doesn't get back, I don't think Spencer Rattler can beat Patrick Graham, but that's just me. I don't care who the personnel is on either side. I think Patrick Graham schemes up Rattler. And anyway, so that's the current state of affairs. Is Vegas is in the driver's seat. The problem is their strength of schedule is not quite as high as the Giants. So if the season ended today, the Giants at 550 remaining strength of schedule, and the Raiders at 537, they would flip because of the strength of schedule tiebreaker.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tankathon and Biggs, for your legendary draft knowledge.
Yeah, it's not legendary yet, but it will be at some point. All right, all right. Top story of the day: the Baltimore Ravens have waived Deontay Johnson. As we know, the Steelers were not in a hurry to retain Deontay Johnson, and he went off to the Carolina Panthers. They figured we got Pickens. Even though Deontay Johnson is a target hog, we can survive without him and his attitude. So he goes to Carolina.
I
Carolina,
thought that was just kind of a made up narrative until he immediately ran himself out of Carolina and then ran himself out of Baltimore.
and I think it's a retroactive narrative. I think what it is Mike Tomlin is tight-lipped enough that if that was the case, we wouldn't have heard about it. So the fact that it's happening at every other step along the way kind of signals that it's likely that happened in Pittsburgh as well, because they didn't do much. So then he goes to Carolina, wears out his welcome there, gets traded mid-season from an organization that is looking at their top receivers being an undrafted free agent, Xavier Legette, and a washed-up old veteran. They still didn't feel like Deontay Johnson was going to help their team. So they traded him to the Ravens, where he immediately became disgruntled and forced a waive.
Well, you have to understand that Jalen Coker is not just simply some undrafted free agent.
Remember what I told you last night on our other show?
And his presence just threatened Deontay Johnson so much that he was like, man, it'd be best if the front office said it'd be best if we just traded him. We're not going to get the best Deontay Johnson.
Don't let your facts get in the way of my narrative. Yeah. I like Jalen Coker. I said UDFA because that fits the
Adam Thielen as well too.
Yeah, washed up. Okay, so now Deontay Johnson is out there. There is a specific waiver order, and if you don't know how waivers in the NFL works, basically everybody is ranked by their record, and so kind of similar to the draft order. The waivers the Raiders would have the first pick on waivers. Now, every team that passes, every team gets a chance. So if they make a claim, then they have a certain period of time with which to sign a contract with the guy, or else he becomes a free agent. Now, the Raiders have the opportunity to grab him. They don't have any reason to. Nobody on the bottom has any reason to at this point. So my feeling is that Deontay Johnson passes through waivers
100%
until he gets to the first team that could benefit from a guy on a weapon in the playoffs, right? Because with Deontay Johnson, if he can just hold on to his attitude for 4 weeks, he should be okay. And he can help a team like the Denver Broncos or the Los Angeles Chargers or the Cincinnati Bengals even.
Zero chance Cincinnati brings him in. I could see 100%. I could see Denver making that move because of the fact that they need someone other than Cortland Sutton to take the pressure off of Bo Nix in the short and intermediate passing game. And I mean, they're manufacturing stuff for Marvin Mims, but I mean, Deontay Johnson is what he is. Like, if you give him the opportunity to separate, that's exactly what he's going to do.
So you don't have as much faith in Devon Vele as you do in Deontay Johnson.
I would never have as much faith in Devon Vele as I do in Deontay Johnson. Not if there was a fire.
So looking at the playoff teams currently at the moment, let me go back to that list. It looks like we start with Atlanta, Arizona, Seattle, Tampa Bay, LA, Denver, Washington, Baltimore, that all have chances to get in there. Detroit and Kansas City are the current favorites. Buffalo and Philadelphia are next. Minnesota, Green Bay, Pittsburgh, and Houston. I don't see him fitting anywhere in those rosters. And then Baltimore, of course, not. Washington has a chance. Denver and LA Chargers are picking ahead of them, or they have waiver claims ahead of them. And then the Rams, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Arizona, Atlanta, San Francisco.
I could potentially see the Bucks maybe making that play
as kind of a Chris Godwin fill-in. I can see that too.
Yeah, and they so if Bruce Arians is still involved with their front office operations, he was a big proponent of drafting Deontay Johnson. He wanted Deontay Johnson coming out of college. So they might, if he still has some sort of influence, I could see that maybe working out. But also, it's McMillian season, baby.
Yeah. And not to mention Miami, Indy, and Dallas are all
Miami only has 2 healthy receivers, so yeah, I could see them doing it too.
They're all sitting at 6-8, and I'm sure all of those brain trusts feel like they have a chance to win out and make the playoffs at 9-8, even though realistically they don't. All right,
I want the Bengals in so bad. I just wish they hadn't dropped that game to the Patriots.
Yeah, that's rough. They would be fun to watch in an indoor playoff game.
100%. Yeah, you take the elements out of it. Really, it does. Honestly, I don't even think it matters, to be totally honest with you. I don't feel like that matters as much because Joe Burrow, I mean, you have singularity of talent in Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, and T. Higgins is as close to that alpha elite omega tier as it gets without being in there. And Chase Brown is Chase Brown. I mean, I don't think he's a tone setter, but he's a damn good running back.
I'm just thinking of the aesthetics of, like a big 400-yard passing game, which won't happen in the snow. But if they do get a snow game, where they're all whites, how sick would that be?
Where would they? What? Okay, who would they?
Just black stripes and the whiteness.
Oh yeah, they would have to go to Buffalo,
right?
Ooh. I mean, they won in Buffalo a couple years ago, though. That was before Josh Allen stopped turning the ball over, though. So that's different.
Good for him.
Yeah.
In other news, we have returns of two players who are now. Oh my God, the boys in the hood are always hard. So I work at a liquor store, and I have to go to the cooler and refresh the lines of drinks. And every time I have to put Old English 800 in the slot. Old English 800, cuz that's my brand. Take it in a 40-bottle core can. Drink it like a madman. Yes, I do. I can't help it. It's in there. There's no quantifying the impact that NWA had on 15-year-old white kids in 1989.
That's crazy.
Changed the world. All right. So two guys who are back big. The first one is Ken Walker the third, K9. We had a fun little dalliance with Zach Charbonnet in fantasy the last couple weeks, but Walker practiced in full this week. So did Geno Smith, or today. No injury designation. Charbonnet is still being held out. The Seattle Seahawks play
Minnesota Vikings.
The Minnesota Vikings. And I have always been of the mindset that you sit every running back that's playing against the Vikings. But I feel like Ken Walker has a puncher's chance in this one. I want to see it.
We've seen Ken Walker do it. We've seen Ken Walker do it in degree of difficulty matchups. He's that explosive. He's that athletic. He's the type of running back of the Saquon ilk where it just takes one play, or he does something, jump cut, 30-yard touchdown run, and your week is made again in a matchup where he's projected to score 9 PPR points. He gives you 17 and tilts your matchup a certain way because of just the fact that he is. I mean, and remember to never forget.
Never stop, never stopping. He's due. That's my favorite meme of the season so far. He's due. It'll be nice to see him back, especially if he can help me take down Chalk, and it'll be nice. The other big story, Hollywood Brown. He and the Chefs and the Refs are going to be taking on the Houston Texans and their above average pass defense.
Man, they had been getting cooked before Tua turned into a pumpkin last week.
Yeah. But you have to
5 straight 20-point passers. 5 straight.
Consider the source. Tua, Jonnu, they've been fire. And, it's easy to cook people when you're fire. Now, there's one thing that we know for sure about the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's that there's not one single person on offense that is the reliable spearhead. So whether or not Hollywood has a huge game is to be determined. What's your take on Hollywood Brown returning? How does that help the Chefs and the Refs? And what do you see going on with Houston?
I think we're getting closer to the full-on version of final form of the Chiefs offense. I think it'll be better this week. I don't think that they'll look like that. I mean, absolute trash like they did last week. I mean, they just don't have anyone for some reason. They've given up on using Xavier Worthy like down the field, and it's just the manufactured targets. He had 11 last week, and he had his best fantasy game since week 1? Or was it even better than was it better than week 1?
Well, I mean, since is accurate.
Yeah, since week 1. So I think that Hollywood being integrated in the offense gives them a viable downfield receiving threat that can actually catch the ball. Well, the results may vary with throwing Hollywood the ball down the field, but I think it's going to be a positive, and I think that it might not benefit them in this matchup, but it will on Christmas Day.
Okay. Yeah. Christmas Day, next Wednesday. We got Wednesday football. We got Thursday football. We got Friday football. This week, tomorrow, we got Saturday football. I love the holiday season.
Yeah. Like just all the football. It's like I'm going to gorge myself on football so that when I'm starved for it in April, I can think back to this moment and just wish I had football again.
Are you a YouTube TV subscriber?
I am not. I get my streams from where I get them from.
Fair. I encourage, not a sponsor, but hey, YouTube, reach out to Player Profiler News because, we'll run ads like this one. I encourage everybody who's a football fan to go get YouTube TV. I have a theory that YouTube TV is the sole reason we are getting 2 Monday Night Football games running concurrently, because the only way to watch them both, unless you are watching one on your tablet, one on your computer, or one on your TV and or on your phone, whatever, is to watch the multi-box from YouTube TV. And I think that's part of it. But the other thing,
very astute observation.
You go into your little menu and you search NFL, and it pops up with the icon, and then you click NFL and you say add to library, and it says this one event or all events, and you click all events, and then every NFL game that is broadcast on YouTube TV, including if you have the Sunday ticket, winds up in your DVR. And the DVR is not like a TiVo. It doesn't have hard drive space. It's in the cloud, so it's unlimited. So whenever you're bereft of football post Super Bowl, all the games from all the past seasons are available to you to go back and watch again.
That's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Or just add NFL Plus.
Yeah, NFL Plus premium. Hashtag also not a sponsor. I tell you, it's made my content making experience so much more succinct. I can just type in, Drake London TD catch or Drake London, and then it brings up all these options. And then again, not a sponsor. I can pull up all the targets, and it's pretty. The search engine is super intuitive. So yeah, love NFL Premium Plus Pro Plus thing.
My goal for 2025, every year I set goals. In 2024, I hit all of them. I have doubled the number of goals for 2025, but part of that includes being at all the events, the Shrine Bowl, Senior Bowl, Super Bowl, Combine, Draft, and all that stuff. And I'm going to accomplish those. Returning to the Expo is one. But one that I'm wanting to do in the dearth of Noah Moore parties and his jump to law school and his running back tracking, he was my guy. He was my analyst. He's why I have running back knowledge that I have. But he's gone. He hasn't been around this year. So I want to take over as kind of like
law school?
Yeah, he went to law school. I want to take over as like the running back version of reception perception. And to do that, I need all 22. So I need that all 22 from NFL Plus. And that's my goal for next year is
I 10 out of 10 recommend NFL Plus. Like I could not recommend it more. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. Like I said, it's made my ability to just get content done for my own page and just wanting to go back and watch things that people miss, like George Pickens touchdowns, and then saying things like, "Oh, but Patrick Surtain had him on Surtain Island." That was a popular refrain back in like week 4 or whatever, and I was like, "Why don't you take a look at this?"
When people tell you who they are, listen to them. And Chev told us all the first time he was ever on camera. All right, let's run through these games real quick. But first, here's Matt.
Oh, incredible news about Fast Draft. Fast Draft DFS is live. It's called the Flex 6 Frenzy. You just draft 6 guys, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends for the Sunday slate. You like Jahmyr Gibbs? You like Jackson Smith-Njigba? You like Tyrone Tracy? Draft him, draft him, draft him. And the beauty is you can just order 5 teams, submit your rankings, and Fast Draft will email you the results. We awarded $1,000 in prizes our first week, and we're just going up from there. Soon there's going to be a select 6. No drafting at all. You just pick any 6 guys. Our DFS mantra, just say no to salaries on Fast Draft. Don't forget there's free tools on Fast Draft too. You want to get ready for startup season? We've created the best Dynasty mock draft experience there is. And if you want to play in these DFS contests, and our best ball contest for 2025 are coming very soon too, just use promo code PODFATHER when you deposit and you get a free draft. It's that easy. And you're like, oh, I already have Fast Draft. Great. Refer a friend. Have them put your username in as the promo code, and then you and your friend will both get an instant deposit match up to $25. We got DFS. We got Dynasty Mocks. We got Best Ball. It's all there for you on fastdraft.app. Check it out. And the promo code is PODFATHER.
And what's incredibler news is, just like he said, the Pick 6 is online now. It's called Super Slam. Basically, you go in and you pick. Everybody can have the players. Every single person that plays in the game can have Jahmyr Gibbs this week. That's my lock of the week. And then basically what creates the difference is the boosters that you add. So right now, this team that I'm looking at is Jahmyr Gibbs, Brock Bowers, Jamar Chase, Devon Achane, Jacoby Myers, and Jerome Ford. And I got different boosters attached to each of them. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a 30-point game, so I'm going to get double those points. It's a great game, and I'm so excited for this week. So let's run through these real quick. We started talking about the Chiefs and Texans on Saturday. That's going to be in Kansas City. John Mechie is out. Cade Stover is out. Juice Scruggs, Foley Fatukasi are out. Christian Harris is questionable. Those are for the Texans. For the Chiefs, DJ Humphries and Shamari Connor are out, and Leo Chenal is ill. All right, we have the Chiefs. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. Okay. Chiefs are 3-point favorites as of Wednesday.
That's such an odd line, is it not?
I mean, it's basically a toss-up.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You give them the 3 points for home field advantage to a 13-1 team that's playing a team that has struggles to beat other good teams. And all you got is 3. I mean, right now, Sportacular shows 3.5, but still 3. I would guess that this would be like 5.5, but that just goes to show you how trash the Chiefs have been playing. This is a fraud.
Yeah. I think that's what what it's more reflective of is the fact that the Chiefs have been kind of down. They're not blowing people away. They just keep winning by a score. So it's hard to like give them a line to get Chiefs bets that's more than like 6 points, because what Chiefs fan, having watched all their games, is going to bet that.
I mean, they're like 3-10 against the spread this year, if I'm not mistaken, or 3 and something. It's an abysmal number.
You say that, and what I hear is take the Texans and the points.
All right. Like, if you've watched CJ Stroud play football this year, there's zero chance that you'd feel comfortable doing that.
I have watched him, and
I know
he's been who we thought he was.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of people that thought he was QB5, brother.
No, who we thought he was.
I'm with you. I'm just saying.
He's a fair to Midland NFL quarterback that benefits greatly from a fantastic defense. Kind of like another quarterback I'm thinking of. I'm not going to name him, but his
does it rhyme with Glock 30?
No.
Glock 30 actually
rhymes with Onyx.
I love that one even more because I actually like Glock 30.
All right, Steelers at Ravens. This is the matchup of the week. Steelers are 10-4. The Ravens are fighting. For the Steelers, Fields is out, Pickens is out, Deshaun Elliott is out. That was kind of a blow. Dante Jackson is questionable, and Larry Ogunjobi is questionable with a groin injury. For the Ravens, Nelson Aguilar was concussed last week. Deontay Johnson is not available because he's been waived. Jalen Armour-Davis is out as well. Rashad Bateman is questionable. Go ahead and watch that one because that could become an important piece in the pie. Daniel Fa'alele, who was one of my favorite Senior Bowl participants a couple years ago. Dude is like 8 feet tall and 600 pounds. And
he's the human version of Gigantor.
Yeah, he's amazing. I don't know how good he is because I haven't followed that. I loved watching him in the Senior Bowl. Odafe Owe is also questionable. Currently, the Ravens are projected to score 25.5 points, and they are 6-point favorites against the 10-4 Steelers. These teams have played before this year, and if I'm not mistaken, the Steelers won.
That was in Pittsburgh with Deshaun Elliott, with George Pickens, with a healthy Larry Ogunjobi. It's B-A time tomorrow. The Ravens are going to win this game and win that division.
One of the things that I've loved about watching the Hard Knocks series in season with the AFC East, that division.
Call it the Hard Knocks Rust Belt edition.
The Hard Knocks Rust Belt has been the preparation that you can see on the part of both the Steelers and the Ravens. We've always known that about both of those teams. We know Mike Tomlin, we know John Harbaugh, and we know that those teams are always prepared regardless of the circumstances. But just to see it in action has been pretty phenomenal. I have a deep, deep hatred for the Steelers, but have grown a huge affinity for Mike Tomlin since the series started. And I've always loved Mike Tomlin. I thought I did not think that he was the best coach when he did not get anything out of the big 3 Bs or whatever they call themselves there. Yeah.
But I think that goes a lot differently if Shazier doesn't get paralyzed, and nobody talks about that.
Yeah,
you need a middle linebacker for that defense to run the right way, and they have good enough. I mean, Queen's been really good, and Peyton Wilson seems like something special.
Yeah, Shazier was otherworldly though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they needed that on defense to kind of offset some of the shortcomings they had in the secondary. And, they never found that answer. And then Ben got old and AB got perfected.
AB got perfected. Yes. I don't know anything about that as a Raiders fan. Jamie, how come the Ravens are really good except when they face the Steelers? They're 1-8 versus them. Yeah. I think also Vegas had. I think this is a closer game than 6 points.
I agree, but I mean, well, no, I don't agree. I think that this is a statement game for the Ravens tomorrow.
Yeah.
I would if George was playing, and this is not George Pickens propaganda, that offense would be able to score on Baltimore, but they just haven't found. They're not dialing it up in the way that you would like to see with their passing game without him.
That's true. But I don't know. I do like what Russ has. I don't know. I'm kind of confused on this one.
I know. Listen. If George was playing, it would be take the over and the Steelers to cover. But the last 3 weeks without him, the running game has struggled because they just won't give enough carries to Jaylen Warren, and Najee just does what he does from time to time, and there's no rhyme, there's no rhythm to the offense. Put it like that. And then there's no reason for teams to not put 8 people in the box anymore. Like, you're not going to see 2 high safeties from the Ravens tomorrow.
It's just such a juicy line, and I think a lot of Pittsburgh money is going to be going into that game this weekend.
And the Ravens are going to smash them.
All right. Michael Penix's debut. New York Giants travel to Atlanta. For the Giants, Aaron Stinney, Bobby Okereke, and Patrick Johnson are out. Greg Stroman is doubtful. Tyrone Tracy, Austin Schlottman, Brian Burns, Deontay Johnson, and Deontay Banks are questionable. For the Falcons, Casey Washington is out, and Kaderil Hodge and Lorenzo Carter are also questionable. This should be a huge line, and it is 8.5.
Mm-hmm. Are you brave enough to take the Giants?
Nope.
Yep, me either.
I mean, I did watch the Atlanta Falcons manage 15 points against the Las Vegas Raiders only because of a double move and some ref help.
But
the Giants are bad.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it with my whole chest. The only reason that the Atlanta Falcons do not get a generational performance from Michael Penix on Sunday is because Bijan Robinson goes for 175 yards and the Giants muster like 110 yards of total offense.
Bold. That's bold. I hope you got into Jeff Mann's thread earlier. I am rooting for the Giants with my whole heart. Every molecule in my body is a Giants fan this week. But yeah, it's I don't think it'll be pretty. All right, Arizona Cardinals, Carolina Panthers. Trey Benson is out. Paris Johnson is out. Jesse Lukita is out. Mac Wilson is out. Elijah Jones is out. And Matt Prater are all out for the Cardinals. DJ Dallas, Evan Brown, Roy Lopez, and Sean Murphy. Bunting is questionable. They are all questionable. For the Panthers, Xavier Legette is out. Jalen Coker is questionable. David Moore, Ikem Ekwonu, Robert Hunt, Ashawn Robinson, and Jadeveon Clowney, they are also questionable as well. Cardinals in this one easy, even on the road. They are
4.5 point favorites, I believe.
Yeah, 4.5 point favorites. I see James Conner having just a huge game.
Yeah, if Jahmyr Gibbs didn't have the backfield to himself, this would be the matchup that everybody would be on as the number one running back play of the week.
Yeah, Jahmyr is going to smash. All right, Lions and Tigers and Bears. Lions travel to Chicago. David Montgomery is out, as you all should probably know. Jalen Reeves-Maybin is out as well. Graham Glasgow, Brian Branch, Efiatu Melifonwu are all questionable. For the Bears, Ryan Bates is out. Travis Homer is doubtful. Tevin Jenkins, Braxton Jones, Jervon Dexter, and Jalen Johnson are all questionable. Jalen Johnson is it says illness, so it's not like a structural limb or anything. So give him some fluids, he'll probably play. Detroit has another big line in this one. We're looking at 6.5. Gibbs controls the game. I say take the Lions.
I agree.
Also, don't forget, you guys, that this is not financial advice.
Yes, it's important to note that this is, in fact, not financial advice.
It's not a betting show; it's a news show, and the news is what I'm doing. But don't necessarily follow me because. All right, Tennessee Titans. Your Tennessee Titans in a divisional matchup against the punchy Indianapolis Colts. For the Titans, Colton Dowell, Luke Gifford are out. Will Levis is questionable, but wasn't going to start anyway because it's Mason Rudolph season. Tony Pollard, Jalen Duncan, Kenneth Murray, Otis Reese, and Nick Folk are questionable as well. What's up with Tony Pollard? Did he practice today?
I did not see that he practiced today. I was looking for it right before we went on air, and I didn't get the update. Let me go to my sources in Nashville.
Check your sources.
I don't. We've gone through this exercise before where he just doesn't practice all week and then plays. So it's entirely possible that that's what's going to happen again. But if that does happen, that the week that happened, it was just him and Julius Chestnut. I think most of the work is going to go to. Okay, so it says that nope, still nothing. Yeah, I think that most of the work is going to revert to Tyjae Spears anyway. But I can't.
Yeah.
I haven't found.
According to Adam Levitan, as of 1 minute ago, he has not practiced this week at all.
Yeah, I mean,
but according to Chev, that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
It doesn't mean that he's out. It just means that he's done. Like I said, he's done this before, where he doesn't practice all week, is questionable, and then plays. Like that game against the Patriots, he had 31 touches for 155 yards.
Yeah,
so,
I believe I said sit him that week too.
Yeah, I mean, there's for 95% of players, if they don't practice all week, it's like they're clearly hampered by something. Don't play them for whatever reason. Tony Pollard was just like, "No, man, I'm good."
Right. All right. So you got Tennessee in this one?
No. Not even if there was a fire. Nope.
3.5 point favorites are the Indianapolis Colts, and they're fighting for a playoff spot, so they should be incentivized. Tennessee's defense is really, really good, and so I think this game will be close. But I still feel like no. You know what? It's the AFC South, and it always late season AFC South is always crazy outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Tennessee in this one.
Okay, good. Take them. I want nothing more than them to lose. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Rams are 8-6.
Banks. Secure it.
Rams are 8-6. New York Jets are 4-10. The Rams have 0 injury designations on a team with Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua in Week 16. That's wild. For the Jets, Michael Carter is out. Braylon Allen, Elijah Vera Tucker, Leaky Fotu, and Quinnen Williams are all questionable. Rams roll. They're fighting for a division. New York has nothing to play for, and they are, except for pride amongst 2 Hall of Famers. And the Rams are favored by 3.5.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams and the over.
Road favorites. All right. The other quasi matchup of the week, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. For the Eagles, Bryce Huff is out. Britton Covey and Sidney Brown are questionable for the Commanders. Jonathan Allen is out. Zach Ertz and Jeremy Chin are questionable. I don't think many people believe there's a path to victory for the Commanders in this one. Philly is 3.5-point favorites on the road. They are locked down, clampy defense. They are the worst. Well, yeah, the worst passing option or matchup for Jayden Daniels that he possibly could have faced this week. They are top 5 in opposing in the run game on defense as well. I think they control the game and do enough, even though Jayden Daniels gets a little wild throwing the ball around, running. We talked a lot about this on our shows last night, and I am a big advocate of sitting Terry McLaurin. We got into some arguments about it, and I feel like he has a really down game, but it leads to a lot of rushing yards on Jayden Daniels' part. So over on Underdog, I have a couple plays where I am under 65 yards for Terry McLaurin receiving, and over, I think it was 39 or 39 and a half rushing yards for Jayden Daniels. So, but Philly wins.
Philly wins. I think that Jayden Daniels goes over on his rushing yards. I still think Terry McLaurin has a big game. I'm gonna go 6 for 81 and a touchdown. That's my prediction. But I think Philly wins. Enormous Saquon game to get you to your fantasy championships. And yeah, that's where I'm at this week.
Woohoo! So for all you people that don't play fantasy football, just expect Terry McLaurin to have a terrible game. I don't want anybody to put him in their lineup because of me, or take him out of the lineup because of me, and then he does what you said. I think the matchup is pretty bad. All right, we have the battle for Ohio. Where are you at, Jamie Pirog? 3-11 Cleveland Browns, led by Dorian
Thompson Robinson.
For some reason, that is, in my lifetime, that is the hardest name in the NFL for me to say.
That's wild. I've heard you rattle off some bangers before, and Dorian Thompson Robinson is the one that trips you up.
Yep. All right. Traveling to Cincinnati to face the Bengals and take home.
Get out of here with that nonsense, Jamie.
The statue shaped like the state of Ohio, which is like a square-ish. All right. Shelby Harris is out for the Browns. Jameis Winston's questionable, but not likely to play unless something happens to the two, or to Dorian Thompson Robinson. Cedric Tillman is questionable, hoping he comes back. Just for his own sake.
He still hadn't colored.
Yeah.
So as of yesterday, he was a limited participant in practice, which means he's still in the concussion protocol.
You saw the hit he took. He got banged up.
Yeah. No. I'm not making light of that or saying that he's soft in any way, shape, or form.
No.
I just clearly, brother, you might need to shut it down for the rest of the year. Your brain is telling you that it's not right.
I didn't think you were calling him soft, but
no. I don't think you thought that, but I wanted to clarify for the millions and millions of fans of Player Profiler today with Biggs and Shell.
Bengals win 48-6. That's straight out the fingers of a Cleveland Browns fan. All right. For the Bengals, Tanner Hudson is out. Sam Hubbard is out, which is that's important, I think. Sheldon Rankins is also out, which I think is also important. Charlie Jones is working his way back. He's questionable. Orlando Brown is questionable. Has Orlando Brown played this year?
Yeah. He gave up a strip sack to Nate Herbig in the first episode of Hard Knocks.
Because his injury designation is questionable with a fibula. I've never seen that before, where they just call out the bone.
So is it like a bone bruise? That's got to be like a brontosaurus tail fibula. That dude's 6'8", 390 pounds.
Yeah. He's out with a fibula.
I mean, you know, I don't know. He gave up that strip sack, and we hadn't seen him since.
Right guard Alex Kappa is also questionable with questionable. All right. Cincinnati is 7.5-point favorites in this one. They roll on their way to fighting for a playoff. They have to win out. There has to be a couple. The Broncos have to lose a game. The Dolphins have to lose a game. There's a bunch of stuff that has to happen, and they also have to win their last 3 games. But there's still a fighting chance. There's a non-zero chance that they make the playoffs.
I want them in the playoffs so bad.
Yeah, they're just so fun to watch, and you know. All right, Minnesota Vikings are traveling to Seattle, Washington, where I used to live. For the Vikings, Jalen Redmond is out. There is a town in Washington called Redmond. Fabian Moreau is also out. CJ Ham is
still in the
questionable.
league?
Yeah.
Wow. Good for him.
Speaking of Fabians, quick question. In the 2007 draft, Aaron Rodgers was taken with the 24th pick in the draft. Who drafted the 23rd pick, and who did they take?
I'm going to guess the Jets took Fabian Washington.
The Raiders took Fabian Washington.
Fabian Washington, yeah.
Okay, bonus points. Who was the Raiders' starting quarterback that they felt was fine and didn't need to draft Aaron Rodgers?
Was it? It wouldn't have been Carson Palmer at the time.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Was it Gannon still?
No, Kerry Collins. Thanks for playing.
Wow.
That's my
and then we retreaded Kerry Collins to a Pro Bowl season, buddy.
I know. It's my favorite bit of hate trivia. All right, for the Seahawks, Brady Russell is out. Travis Gibson is out. Kayvon Wallace is out. This doesn't list Zach Charbonnet, but the last I checked, he was at least questionable and not likely to play.
He didn't practice on Wednesday, and then he didn't practice on Thursday, or he was limited yesterday.
Real quickly, we do have a couple of fantasy questions, even though it's not a fantasy show. Start 2, half PPR. T, Cup, BTJ, Ridley. I really like Ridley this week and BTJ.
I mean, BTJ is locked in your lineup. You could do – I would love to say Cooper Kupp, but I think this is just – especially if Quinnen Williams doesn't play. I'm gonna go BTJ and T.
All right, and if Pollard misses, which two do I play? Spears, Keenan, Devontae. I feel like Devontae is a trap with Saquon having a day. I am still starting Smith, and I would go Spears.
Yeah, Spears is locked, and then I'd go Keenan though, just because they're going to throw the ball 45 times again.
All right, we think Minnesota wins this one easily.
I don't know about easily. I think this is going to be one of those plucky Seahawks games where, like, for reference, the game they played against Detroit on Monday Night Football, I think it goes kind of like that.
Okay, so it's a 3.5-point spread. You feel like Seattle keeps it closer than that?
I think Seattle's going to cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We have
Seahawks cover.
Say it again.
Vikings win, Seahawks cover.
Oh, got it. Okay. We have a palindrome. The 3-11 New England Patriots at the 11-3 Buffalo Bills. For the Patriots, JaMychal Hasty, is out. Marcus Jones is out as well. Caden Wallace, Cole Strange, Deion White, Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers. Only 2 of those guys are offensive linemen. They're making progress. They are questionable. For the Bills, Curtis Samuel is questionable. Matt Milano as well. Balin Spector, Dorian Williams, Rasul Douglas, Raiders legend. DeMar Hamlin and Taylor Rapp are all questionable. Let's go, Drake.
Durake Maye.
This is the line of the week, 14 points.
That's wild. That's wild. Smash the Bills.
Oh, we have two 14-point lines.
What's the other one?
Monday.
Oh, Monday Night Football. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
All right. In a battle for top 3 picks, the Jacksonville Jaguars, 3-11, traveling to the desert to face the Las Vegas Raiders at 2-12. For the Jaguars, no injury designations except for Doug Peterson's career opportunities. For the Raiders, Jordan Meredith is doubtful. Kanae Mauga is, dang it, I just heard that. Mauga is questionable.
I was wondering if you were going to do it.
Nate Hobbs and Sam Webb are questionable as well. All right. I've mentioned a couple times that I got into Jeff Mann's tweets today and posted 5 hot takes, bold predictions, whatever. One of those is Aiden O'Connell is going to throw for over 300 yards. In spite of themselves, I think this is a week that the Raiders give the fans the second home win of the season and take out the Jaguars. The Raiders are currently somehow 1-point favorites. I want to say they're.
Here we go, Raiders. Here we go.
I think they're 0 for the season as favorites. But I feel like the receiving core can do enough. Alexander Madison is healthy. He's not good, but he's healthy.
We're not good.
And the Jaguars, like Mac Jones is fine. Brian Thomas Jr. is out there. Brenton Strange is out there. And a 2-headed running back seen against the Raiders.
Dude, we're getting a peek into the time machine of what Mac Jones could have been if you surrounded him with any sort of competent NFL weapon.
True.
Like,
how many yards does Brian Thomas smoke the Raiders for? 120 or more, maybe 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say 170 and 3 touchdowns, and they still lose.
Dude, he had so I can't remember if it was against. Was it against no, it wasn't against the Jets. I want to say week 13 or 14. He had 230 air yards and ended up finishing with like 100 yards, but he got missed. Oh, Texans, that's who it was. So against the Texans, he had like 230 air yards and could have finished with 260 and 3 touchdowns. The film was remarkable.
Yeah.
And he finished with like 110 and 1.
Yeah, yeah. I'll never forget his end zone drops. All right, and without context, O'Connell. Thank you for your contribution, William Watkins. So yeah, I'm saying take the Raiders, take the over. The implied point total is only 39.5. I think
that's insane. That's insane anti-Aiden O'Connell, Mac Jones shootout propaganda that I will not stand for today.
Sorry, 40 is the over/under. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fun game to watch. Don't take my word for it and watch it, but I am going to.
It would be fun.
All right. San Francisco 49ers 6-8, traveling to Miami Dolphins, also 6-8. Isaac Guerrero is out. Trent Williams is out. Nick Bosa is questionable. Robert Beal is questionable. And Dre Greenlaw is questionable as well. For the Dolphins, Blake Ferguson is out. Dwayne Eskridge, Jalen Waddle, they're doubtful. That downgrade on Jalen Waddle hurt. Tyreek Hill, Teron Armstead, Kendall Lamb, Bradley Chubb, and Cameron Good are questionable. Digging into this one, we've got a really close line. 1 point.
It's
Dolphins
disgusting.
favored.
Yeah.
Even after what Tua did last week, although Brock Purdy got shut down pretty hard by the Rams too. So
I have zero faith. I have zero faith in this offense in the 49ers offense without Trent Williams.
Yeah, and I think that point is that's reflective of Mike McDaniel revenge game.
Yes. I mean, this to me, this smells like Devon Achane getting you to week 17 propaganda with all the injuries in the front seven for the 49ers. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. They're favored. The 49ers have a bunch of injuries. We've seen them be absolute dog crap. Devon Achane to the moon.
All right. Let's do it. All right. Staying in, well, no, not doing anything like I was just about to say. Another palindrome, 8-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against the 6-8 Jerry Joneses. Cameron Johnson is out for the Buccaneers. Antoine Winfield Jr. is out also. Cade Otton is doubtful. Ouch. Where did that come from? KJ Britt is doubtful, and Mike Edwards is questionable. For the Cowboys, Jalen Brooks and Trevon Diggs are out. TJ Bass, Micah Parsons, Eric Kendricks, Nick Vigil, Jordan Lewis, and Wanye Thomas are questionable. Cowboys, 22 points. Tampa Bay, 26 points. Tampa Bay is favored by 4 points in this one.
Tampa wins and covers.
All right, I'm calling a Brandon Aubrey field goal to win it by 1.
Wow. That's an alarming amount of faith in the Cowboys.
I have zero faith in the Cowboys. I have all my faith in Cooper Rush. All right, we have a Monday night game. It's going to be the New Orleans Saints traveling to the frozen tundra of Green Bay. Huge line in this one, 14-point Packers favorites. Fair. That's fair. I was talking about bold predictions. I called Condre Miller 2 touchdowns.
Condre Miller.
Okay. O'Connell, May,
Rush
Cooper,
or G.
or Geno Smith. I'm imagining that's Geno Smith and not Gardner Minshew. I want to lean May.
Yeah, I mean, May is the safest play here.
Oh.
Rushing floor plus, rushing floor plus, like game script upside. I would go May.
Yeah, I love Drake May. I mean, as much as one can love a fantasy asset. All right, you guys, that's it. I got to go to work. I'm late already. I was supposed to be there at 5. And we're going to get out of here. Join us next week as we will be, we're in the thick of it right now. This is the pennant race, baby. We got 2 more weeks of the season left. We will be back after the Christmas break. Not a break, just Christmas. Have a great Christmas, everybody. If you celebrate that way. If you don't, have some fun anyway. Just, just to treat yourself. And yeah, Jamie says Drake May all the way as well. And we'll see you again next Friday, and we'll have week 17 lined up for you. Who's going to be in, who's going to be out, what are the big stories going to be? We will see. Hopefully George Pickens is back. And we'll.
Hey, I want to thank you for being part of this broadcast. If you have any thoughts on it, leave a comment. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. And if you want to see more shows on the Player Profiler channel, subscribe to it. That's how we know you want more.